thanks for coming in today. My name is Jaimee. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. And what was your name?
Jaimee.
Your name is Jaimee too. That's
Yes.
Interesting. So, what brings you in today?
Well, I wanted to come in because I was struggling a little bit with time management in my personal life because I recently started a new school program and I'm still working full time and I have some family obligations and I'm in a relationship, so it's all kind of coming together.
Yeah, that sounds really difficult. Do you feel like which of those are you having the hardest time, like when it comes to managing the responsibilities?
Probably maintaining like the family obligations and spending time with the people that are important to me while still balancing the schoolwork.
Okay, so you've got like your schoolwork that takes out a lot of your time.
Yeah, I would say so. I do some schoolwork at work because my job is flexible enough that I can get some schoolwork in. But a lot of the nights and weekends are spent reading and doing assignments.
And then, how often are you going to school?
I go on Tuesdays and Thursdays for most of the day, I would say.
So like 2 full days, and then you feel like you have a lot of nights that you're doing schoolwork?
I would say every day I do something.
Okay. And you said you're still working?
Yeah. So I work downtown at the hospital in administration, and that's a full-time job.
Okay, so you kept your full-time hours,
hmm
and then did those hours change in terms of like when?
Yeah, they were flexible in that now I go in on the weekends sometimes, and I'll work later in the evening. Like tonight, I'll work until 7:30.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're still working your 40 hours, but like around your school schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot.
hmm
That's a lot to manage. So I can understand why you feel like your time is just taken up by so much stuff.
Yeah,
You mentioned that you're in a relationship,
I am. Yeah.
and how long has that been?
It's been a little over a year now.
Okay, and do you guys live together?
No, but we do plan on moving in together next February.
Next February.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not too far away.
No.
What does your partner think about you starting up school again?
He was supportive. He recently graduated from a master's in physician's assisting, a PA. He's a PA at the hospital. Uh, so he kind of already went through like a master's program.
Okay, when did he graduate?
He graduated before we met.
Oh, before you met.
Yeah.
Okay, but he still kind of remembers like the.
Yeah, I think he understands like how time consuming it can be.
Okay, and so how is he with you when like normally you guys would have time together, but you're having to dedicate that now to like your readings or your schoolwork or even just working? How does he kind of respond to you?
He's pretty understanding. There hasn't really been any conflict with that. It's just more of like a personal guilt almost around it of knowing that, oh, I want to be spending time with him or spending time with other friends, but having to choose, schoolwork over that.
Okay, so no one is like putting the pressure on you. You just feel like it's more yourself, like you're having to choose and balance, and it makes you feel guilty.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Um, I could understand that and how that kind of adds like stress already when you're already trying to manage so many different things. Does he live here?
Yeah, he lives pretty close.
Okay, so how often would you say that you guys do see each other now?
Maybe 3 days a week.
Like 3 days a week? Okay.
He also works kind of an odd schedule, so even before I started school, it wasn't consistently every day that we saw each other because he works nights and I work days, so sometimes we wouldn't see each other for a few days anyways.
Okay, but you guys communicate like through the phone and texting and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you also talked about your family, right?
Hmm.
What kind of, like, what does your family look like?
My parents live in town. They're still married. My brother he also lives in town. He is married with 2 daughters.
Okay, and you live with your parents?
No, I live in an apartment.
Okay, but do you guys also like to get together as a family?
Yeah, so I was gonna go over to my parents maybe once every other week, maybe. It used to be more often though. I would say that has decreased. And then once a month, I go out to dinner with some women in the family, like a girls' dinner.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
but I haven't been going to that.
oh, you haven't been able to attend that?
No.
Okay, do you feel that you haven't been able to attend because you're trying to work during those hours or because you've had schoolwork?
It's either been work or because of school. I remember one week we just had too many assignments due, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to go out to dinner.
Hmm. How did that make you feel like missing out on that time with everyone?
I felt kind of bad. I mean, they know that I'm in the program, so I'm sure they understand, but it's still kind of a bummer because I like to go.
Hmm. Do you feel like there's like that like FOMO, like fear of missing out, or do you feel like you're just it's more like bummed, or do you feel like you're missing something?
Sometimes I feel like I'm not getting enough social interaction, like friends, like I used to with. I'm a part of a hiking group that's quite active, and so sometimes I'll almost be restless, or I'll feel like antsy to go do things with people, or
Hmm.
even just to be outside.
Yeah, I think
But
like, as humans, we're social creatures.
yeah,
So it's really hard when you're not getting that interaction. How often are you going hiking with your hiking group?
it used to be probably at least once or twice a month.
Hmm.
Uh, Lately, it's been less, and the hikes have been more local. Like I used to go camping. Like the group had a camping trip just this past weekend that I wasn't able to go to because I just had too much to
Yeah,
do.
that's a lot going on.
Yeah.
That's upsetting to miss out on that stuff. Do you feel like when it comes to like social interaction, are you getting anything like from the program?
A little bit. We'll be going actually on a hike this Sunday with
Okay.
people, um, but which is nice. Uh, but I don't know them as well, so it's not quite the same.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to make new friends.
A little bit.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's anyone that you've kind of gotten like closer with that you feel like you could develop a friendship with them?
Yeah, definitely. There's some people in classes that been in group work with or something that I like them. I don't dislike anybody in the program. It's just the time it takes to kind of get to know somebody and form a real friendship outside of the school is also time consuming.
Yes, and you just feel like it's already hard to manage your time as it is.
Yeah,
What about at work? Do you have like friends or socialization at work?
a little bit. I work with probably a group of like 15 to 20 doctors, and we all work in the same room, so there's a lot of people around. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily friends with any of them, but they're all nice and supportive. They ask me about how school's going and how I'm managing and things like that. So
And are they supportive if you like have to do any like schoolwork while you're there? Is there time for that? Or is it strictly like while you're working you have like duties the whole time?
there's definitely time for me to be able to do schoolwork, and it's not an environment where people really micromanage what I'm doing. So I can fit in like reading while I'm also, answering questions or getting my other tasks done. So
And do you feel like, because you do have the time, but sometimes it's hard to like utilize that time, do you feel like you utilize that?
sometimes yes and sometimes no, because it does start to get a little like antsy when I'm reading and doing all that all at once. Like I don't necessarily focus on schoolwork for long periods of time. I usually
Right,
need some breaks.
right, yeah, it kind of at some point you like aren't really focused on it.
Yeah.
So then, so you have like your time at work, and then you have your schoolwork, and you have your different groups. But do you feel like you have time like where you're just focused on yourself? Do you have stuff that you do just for you?
I do try to go to the gym, a couple times a week. And then sometimes I do just sit on the couch and look at my phone, to be honest. But I try to limit that too, because that just doesn't feel like a productive use of time.
Yes. Do you feel like you always need to kind of be like productive with your time?
Sometimes it feels, because I know how much I need to do, that if I'm not doing something, then I'm like losing the opportunity to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a little bit of guilt comes in of, oh, I should have done this in the last hour, and instead I just was on my computer watching YouTube videos.
Right. Yeah, that sounds like really frustrating when you're kind of judging yourself for
Yeah,
how you use your time. It sounds like you have a lot going on, you have a lot of responsibilities, but it sounds like you are using your time like to the best of your ability to get stuff done that has to be done. Um, and while you do have like, uh, it's not necessarily full time school,
yeah,
but 2 full days plus extra time, like that's a lot, plus full time work. So it sounds like you do have a lot going on with your time.
yeah.
Um, and it sounds like, maybe kind of at a loss right there, but when you feel like you have expectations for what you should be doing, and that kind of brings in some of the guilt, like if you're
Mhm.
not using your time like with your boyfriend or your family or your hiking group, we have to have like a little bit of grace for ourselves.
Yeah,
um, but it also sounds like you have some really like supportive people around you.
I do. Yeah, I'm lucky in that. I have
And
good relationships with like my family and friends for the
yeah,
most part.
and they're very understanding of your time being spent at school.
Yeah.
Have they asked you any more, kind of like maybe finding like different ways to get together?
Uh, we will be having like a Christmas get together with the group, which I'm excited about. We do that every year. And then I told them that I would plan a summer, when I'm out of school, that I would plan like a summer barbecue thing for everybody to get together. I've
Yeah.
done that in the past. Um, because my neighborhood has like a park where you can have barbecues, and there's pools and stuff.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Do you like planning that sort of thing?
Mm, maybe a little bit, not normally. Like once a year.
Like once a year is good.
I'll do like I'll plan like, in the past few years I've planned camping trips too for the group, because we'll kind of alternate. I didn't get to do one this year, but usually I do like one camping trip.
Yeah, so it sounds like you like to do stuff outside
Yeah,
and be
I do.
active. How does that work in the winter?
Well, in the winter, it's almost easier, at least in Bakersfield, because it's not 115 degrees.
Oh, so it's better
It's
in
almost
the
better
winter.
in the winter. Um, in the summer, I have to leave and go out of town. Like right now, we can go to Wind Wolves or the Canyon, and there's some hiking in there. Or if you want to go snowshoeing, you can go to Alta Sierra or further up north.
Yeah, so it sounds like your time is coming then when you do like to be outside. Is there time in the winter when you have a break from school?
Yeah, so we'll have a break coming up here pretty soon, and I do have a trip planned. So that was kind of at the beginning of the semester, my boyfriend and I like planned a trip specifically between like during winter break so that I could have something to look forward to.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
So, it kind of sounds like even though you have a lot to manage, you are making plans to utilize your time and the breaks that you have
Mhm.
to still be around the people that you enjoy being around.
Yeah.
So I'm just so glad that you could come in and kind of talk to me a little bit about what's going on.
Me too.
And, you know, maybe next time you come in, you can tell me a little bit more about your plan for your vacation, your trip during winter break.
Okay.